Welcome to beautiful Vancouver and happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. The Pints can wait, a big 3 points on the line as Toronto FC takes on the Vancouver Whitecaps. Gareth Wheeler with you. Both teams haven't won a game yet early this MLS season, so the stakes are high as ever when these two teams meet. Now they won't be having to battle the conditions of bad wind or choppy fields like they did in Salt Lake and Philadelphia, but they will have to go ahead with no Sebastian Giovinco. He doesn't make the trip, which means Jordan Hamilton for the first time is in the 18 for Toronto FC. Let's get down to the three keys to the match for the upcoming game Saturday afternoon. And the first key to the game, testing the Whitecaps. This will be the third game in just 8 days for the Whitecaps, including a difficult trip to Monterrey, Mexico in the CONCACAF Champions League. They did a whole lot of chasing at altitude in a 2-0 loss on Tuesday. Complicating things even more, no starting goalkeeper David Osted for the Caps, which means Paulo Tornaghi will be just making his second MLS start for Vancouver. Looked shaky at times when Vancouver went down to 10 men in a 3-2 loss to San Jose. They were unable to hold on after taking a 2-0 lead. Vancouver can be exposed across the back line as long as Toronto FC plays with speed and pace. The second key to the game, midfield mettle. The Toronto FC midfield was such a strength for the team at the end of last season, but has looked detached at times during the early stages of this. They haven't played poorly, it's just they haven't played at the level that they were last season, and sometimes it's difficult when you introduce a new player like Victor Vasquez to the fold. They've been a little bit detached from Michael Bradley, not giving him the proper outlets at times. If they play more compact, it will be better for the group, and especially against the Vancouver Whitecaps team that is very good on the counterattack. They need to be able to cut down the breakout attack, and that will bode well for TFC. And finally, defensive back to basics. Head coach Greg Vanney wasn't happy with the goals conceded in Philadelphia. Multiple mistakes were made, and that's usually what plays out. It's not one player to blame, and that certainly wasn't the case, especially in the second goal conceded against the Union last week. You just don't want to concede 2 minutes after you go up in a match, and that really drew the ire of Greg Vanney. Now, the team has been working on things over the course of the week, and it's all about being more decisive, more aggressive, and much more communication across the back line. Now, things will be helped out with Steven Beitashour making the trip after passing his concussion protocol test midweek. He started 29 games last year and started the first game of this season where they picked up the clean sheet in Real Salt Lake. The back five is very solid. They're going to have to contest with a lot of speedy players with the Whitecaps. Kekuta Mane burned them at times last year. Alphonso Davies, the teenage prodigy, certainly can play. And Freddie Montero up front for the Whitecaps hasn't scored yet, but certainly has the pedigree. For Toronto FC, this is a big game in front of a national audience on CTV. The two teams have split their all-time record during the regular season at 3-3-1, so it's a big game with the stakes high for both teams. Toronto FC looking to pick up the full 3 points. They've actually drawn 6 of their last 8 games during MLS regular season play.